All right, hey guys, here we are again, Oasis Hole 4, par 4. Now this is the first time that I've got a tailwind with this one. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take about 4 top spin. I'm also going to just kind of size up the hole a little bit, make sure that I can carry it to the second fairway. It's hard to get an idea of what I'm going to need to do here. But I'm going to try to use this as my landing zone. Notice how I'm using a lot of side spin. To get it to that land spot, you can see I'm about maybe 9 rings past power, but I have 7 wind. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to use very little power in order to actually get it up to that landing zone. So I'm only adding maybe like didn't quite want that, but it's okay. What I noticed is this fairway is running out a little bit far. So you do need to be a little bit more cautious. So that's one of the reasons that you see me trying to get it as aggressive on the front edge as possible. But at the very least, let's see what my opponent here does with a Thor's hammer. So what you used to be able to do is you used to be able to definitely use 5, 6 top spin and be able to hold it. Now I've got some really bad bounces to where it's rolled through. So there's not a lot of video of me doing it so far, but you know, the second fairway plays definitely different than it used to. No question. So it might have just been a one type bad bounce. But here you can see, you know, there's nothing wrong with the approach that we're taking. We're just not going to be able to go for probably the rough bump when you play it like this. So we're going to have to just focus on doing more of a hop shot off of this fairway and use right around 3 top spin or so for our so that's what I'm going to focus on here, is about 3 top spin. And you know, the big thing is the curl factor. So you can see that no matter what I do, the ball guide seems to kind of stick to the right and short on the other side. Here you're going to see me play the rings pretty spot up, but you're also going to see me use the curl. Now this curl is going to help the ball to get a little bit of extra momentum and hopefully carry up more into the middle of the rough there. And there you can see I just over curled it just slightly, but you can see that it still ended up landing much more into the center of the rough as opposed to the front edge as in my ball guide. So the curl helps the ball to do that. It just basically gives it like an extra springboard to kind of land a little bit longer. But for the tournament, you know, your best drives are going to be the ones that you know, focus on hopefully getting up to towards the front edge of the second fairway that we're on. And hopefully doing some kind of rough bump like you used to see on the old Tour 9 shots that I've done. From what I've seen, I've had to do that shot 1 time so far. And it seems to play very, very consistent to where it used to. It seems like the front of the green just switched a little bit. It's the only real difference, is we have a little bit different green rollout. But if you use your sniper ball guide, that shouldn't matter. It doesn't seem to have quite the break to the right that it used to. As you can see here, especially from the ball guide, that it just kind of holds its line and it just kind of goes straight as opposed to what it used to do, where I would have just a little bit of curvature to it. Just a tiny bit. But you can see that it seems to be a little bit more flattened with the way that they approach this green. So here we're going to get to the shootout. If we do get a new hole, I will split these videos up so you guys can easily access the new par 3s. It'll be a lot easier to pick them up if they're individualized. Otherwise, nope. So another Milano here. We're going to just keep this video together. Here you can see my opponent gets the first shot, and this is a very difficult wind. I usually go for this rough bump shot as well, but this is the hardest wind to do it on. So definitely going to pay attention to my opponent. I'm very glad that my opponent's doing this first. So that can hopefully help me out. You know, I might usually only go maybe 9 rings with my ring adjustment with a 9.5. Looks like my opponent might have went around 10, which might still work out as well. It looks like it would have been okay, aside from the fact that it, you know, just kind of jerked over towards the side because of the mishit. But with my opponent in there kind of tight and pulling that shot off, we are also going to go for this shot. So one of the things that you might see me do is I might just cheat the front of the rough a little bit, kind of like this, and maybe just use maybe about 5 on my backspin here. And aside from that, I'm going to try to do this in one motion, and I will probably go very max with my ring adjustment in this situation. So 8.5. I also called a great ball, but I do not believe, you know, I think I was a little bit more precise with the way that I went to adjusting. So you can see my ring play was a little bit more sound than my opponent's, with the way that I, you know, the method that I approached it. So you can see, even though we both great balled it, since I was a little bit more careful with my pull angle and very methodical with the way that I was pulling there, you can see that I was able to, you know, have much less error towards the left. So definitely something to think about when you guys are doing your ring play. Just be very careful with the way that you go about doing things. So good luck there, and I'll catch you guys next time.